Abusia yebemo makwaba shulonkoso aba POG Media so mesho sa fe no aba obelike no wa subscribe na afin so tuma share djumedi no ama foforo so nsa etumi aka ensem ekoso my Ghana mu a yenso ya Japan yese brand no any political trending story sa make headlines and say make waves awo microphone Ghana mu no POG Media yele beba bedum eye yabedwafo ene abusuafo nende dsm ene ekoso awo political highway ni so Ofori Atta, former finance minister, say, OSP, declare no wanted actually OSP siding semi betu just say, no one declare Ofori Atta wanted, and so this time around, Onyan declare no wanted be name and some no, and as allegations no more the 20 sono, and a mobile investigations. Nende, and a breaking news be a yenya and say OSP, adding semi about betu just say, when we investigations, ne idea. Ofori Atta no, he has been found guilty. Abusia meneo kase it's likely say Ofori Atta ebetimi ako dem ewo nsawon prisoner enye asem kuma na ebi mukura keka say yade ya papa no ebetimi ako 2 years a abusia ensama akoso highway ni so no ano eden papa eti Johnny Hughes and then some the munchemu abedan ya mepesa bedwafo bami ako ne akwa kutie de ko so na after say OSP din na nsem eba betu dwano His Excellency John Domani Mahama so I react ono so akan se mebre ai afa da asem ehu a mepesa busuafo bami ako ne akwa kutie da nsem ni nyina na nsa na ebeko no make sure say o nsem kai bia o de be share your comment section wo like share djumedi no ma foforo so nsa into me and kebi medamase.
So he's asking this, if you like, his money for unlawfully declaring the applicant wanted. And the applicant I'm talking about, Ofori Atta. So Ofori Atta is saying that the court should ask compensation from the OSP that will come to him because the OSP unlawfully declared him
wanted.
Also, unlawful publication on the OSP's website that the applicant is a wanted person. So two things. There's a third one. The two things we're talking about: the unlawful declaration that he is wanted,
unlawfully declaring the applicant wanted, and also unlawful publication of the OSP's website.
On the website that he's a wanted person. The third is this:
it's a wanted that he doesn't want.
Not that.
Yeah.
Let's look at the third one. The third of the reliefs that he's seeking. Ofori Atta is also asking that the court directs the OSP to post documents that it may require from the applicant for investigations and serve same on the solicitors of the applicant for them to furnish same. So tell us the documents you need for this investigation. The fourth one is this: injunction restraining the office of the special prosecutor from carrying out its threat of taking necessary legal steps to secure his return into the country. Johnny, this is an interesting one. This fourth one,
right?
From carrying out threats to take legal steps to secure his return to the country. You know that the OSP has responded to all of this.
Right. So that if by 2nd June he doesn't appear,
he would
have to re-enter his name onto the wanted list, and then now go to. Let's look at the reliefs that are being the detail there in there, and maybe we'll read in full. Press release by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and it says case update. Kenneth Nanaya Ofori Atta. The Office of the Special Prosecutor acknowledges a lawsuit filed by Kenneth Nanaya Ofori Atta contesting the OSP's proud declaration that he was a wanted person and a fugitive from justice. Mr. Ofori Atta formally requested the OSP to remove his name from the OSP's list of wanted persons with the assurance to the OSP that he would make himself available for questioning on a definite date. Now, this is important. This Mr. Ofori Atta formally requested the OSP to remove his name from the OSP's list of wanted persons with the assurance to the OSP that he would make himself available for questioning on a definite date. The OSP, in good faith and on the basis of Mr. Ofori Atta's assurance, granted his request and removed his name from the OSP's list of wanted persons pending his personal attendance at the OSP on the definite date. Mr. Ofori Atta is mandatorily required to appear in person before the OSP on 2nd June or 2 June 2025. If Mr. Ofori Atta fails to attend the OSP on the scheduled date, he shall be re-entered on the OSP's list of wanted persons, and the OSP shall consider him a fugitive from justice, whereupon the OSP will cause the issuance of an Interpol red notice in his regard, and also cause the initiation of extradition proceedings in any jurisdiction in which he may be found. The OSP remains unwavering in its commitment to enforcing the law and ensuring that Mr. Ofori Atta answers for his role as the prime suspect in the 5 ongoing corruption and corruption-related investigations signed by Kisi Jabin, who is a special prosecutor. This is important because if you read the second paragraph, he says that Mr. Ofori Atta formally requested the OSP to remove his name from the OSP's list of wanted persons, with the assurance to the OSP that he would make himself available for questioning on a definite date. So it was a negotiation of a sort, a gentleman's agreement that, oh, look, you take my name off, I will come.
Yeah.
So where from the lawsuits then? After the agreement and the name was taken off, where from?
So what Ofori Atta is saying is that although we have agreed or we have spoken about you removing my name from the wanted list, and the OSP subsequently doing that,
right?
For according to Mr. Ofori Atta, it was wrong for the OSP to even in the first place declare him wanted, and then to put his name on the website of the OSP that he is a wanted person. So what people are saying, the conversation is that the OSP did not go through the right process or the right procedure to declare him wanted. What people want to know, what they are demanding answers of the OSP is that what has Mr. Ofori Atta been charged with?
Right.
So if the police goes to arrest somebody, for instance, they take the person to court and the person is properly charged, even if the person secures bail and then the person comes out, and then if the person runs away, the police goes back to the court to go and ask for a warrant to declare him wanted. Then they'll go and look for the person and rearrest him.
So look, the last paragraph of what Mr. Kisi Jabin, the special prosecutor, wrote is that the OSP remains unwavering in its commitment to enforcing the law and ensuring that Mr. Ofori Atta answers for his role as the prime suspect in 5 ongoing corruption and corruption-related investigations. 5. But so there are 5 cases that are hanging around the neck of Mr. Ofori Atta, according to the OSP. Yeah.
But this ongoing corruption-related offenses that Mr. Ofori Atta has been accused of, is it a charge? Is it? What is Mr. Ofori Atta? What is he wanted for? That's what he's wanted for. But is it a charge from a court? That is where there is the gray area. Maybe incoming lawyer.
Well, so let's look at the powers of the OSP.
Yes.
The OSP, by the OSP law, has powers, right? And these powers are supposed to be including what? Arrest, search and take possession of documents, seizure of suspected tainted property, movable and immovable, seizure and detention of currency suspected to be proceeds of corruption, direct declaration of property and income, freezing of property, render orders for disclosure of funds and other assets, render confiscation orders, render pecuniary penalty orders, realize property, right? And then property tracing, lift veil, protect witnesses, victims, whistleblowers, and informants, appoint receivers to manage and preserve realizable property, manage seized assets, demand disclosure of funds, and demand disclosure of assets. Let's go back to the very top. It talks about arrest.
Yes.
So, and if you read subsequently, it says here that they are drawing their powers from Act 960, Act 30, right, under the Criminal and Other Offences Act. Now, it talks also about the very final page, where some of these powers are exercised upon applications to the High Court.
Right.
The OSP is not subject to the direct or control of any person or authority in the performance of its functions, except as provided in the Constitution. The office is, for the purposes of its functions, authorized by the Attorney General to to initiate and conduct the prosecution of corruption and corruption-related offences. The OSP may be requested by Parliament in the public interest to investigate, etc., etc., etc. So these are the powers of the OSP. And some of these powers, it is per application to the High Court, but they are not subject to the control of anybody. So they can arrest you, really.
Yes.
Recall
the OSP has insisted on that time and again that, look, they can arrest you.
Yes. Okay, so let's start from here.
Okay, abusia eti nsɛm no mu bi ene ekokoti na uti OSP ne kasema o se eyade a ono odi eyeken Ofori Atta ho ya opa esanse time a odi clear papa no wanted no eyade na ebi mu kura se ena ken Ofori Atta oni ahomigiem like papa ne yare or san ho yare adenti ena o se obeba still na eye OSP declare no wanted nenso OSP say ende news a ebobo no ken Ofori Atta chima eyade a national securities or what may invading the premises into a CEO one. Just a original one on Tiasia. Woo, na ye declare wanted now so ya recla. Yamao Kama ye the obey or Honton out the bagana. And out to war at Soyam say, West you a year or no OSP national securities there and ye or money a between time at say. And some a OSP the 2 as on a day, not and some no ano adding. To my person for Sabemiako, Yakwakuti OSP in summer or the 2 as.
The search for the former finance minister, they are still at the investigation stage. At least we know that from the communication that we have seen so far. I think there was a communication in which they hinted of some of the reasons they are looking for the former finance minister.
In fact, there's a full tape. Maybe we should just play the tape.
Yes, let's play.
Let's listen to the tape.
Ladies and gentlemen of the media, a few minutes ago, I signed a directive declaring a high-profile person a fugitive from justice. This person is wanted by the OSP to answer charges in respect of several cases, including the following. 1. Contractual arrangements between Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited and the Ghana Revenue Authority for the stated downstream petroleum sector, upstream petroleum production, and minerals and metals resources value chain. 2. Termination of a distribution, loss reduction, and associated network improvement project contract between the Electricity Company of Ghana Limited and Beijing Xiaocheng Technology BXC. 3. Procurement of contractors and materials and activities and payments in respect of the National Cathedral project. 4. Activities and payments in respect of a contract awarded by the Ministry of Health, initially commenced by the Ministry for Special Development Initiatives to Service Ghana Auto Group Limited for purchases and after-sales service and maintenance of 307 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 305 CDI ambulances for the National Ambulance Service. And 5. Payments out of and utilization of the tax refund account of Ghana Revenue Authority. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, the fugitive's name is Kenneth Nanaya Ofori Atta. Mr. Ofori Atta is 66 years old. He was the Minister of Finance of the Republic between 2017 and 2024. Mr. Ofori Atta left the jurisdiction on or around 2 January 2025. On 24 January 2025, the OSP communicated to Mr. Ofori Atta that the OSP considered him a suspect in respect of 4 of the cases described above. Mr. Ofori Atta was directed to attend in person the OSP on Monday, 10 February 2025 at 10 GMT for interview. By communication dated 31 January 2025, Mr. Ofori Atta instructed his lawyers to inform the OSP that he was out of the jurisdiction indefinitely on medical grounds, and that the firm will notify the OSP of his arrival in the country in aid of rescheduling his personal attendance at the OSP. Further, the firm offered its willingness to provide the OSP with any information the OSP may require to aid in the investigation until his arrival in the country. Then on 5 February 2025, the OSP responded to Mr. Ofori Atta, copied to his lawyers, that the OSP did not need or require notification from his lawyers of his arrival in the jurisdiction.
92.7.
The OSP acknowledged Mr. Ofori Atta's lawyers' gracious offer to provide the OSP with information in aid of the investigation. However, and this is important, the OSP insisted that Mr. Ofori Atta's personal attendance at the OSP was required. After all, the lawyers are not under investigation. I don't need lawyers to answer questions on your behalf when you are being investigated. The OSP declined Mr. Ofori Atta's request to be away from the jurisdiction indefinitely on medical grounds on his say-so. Consequently, the OSP directed Mr. Ofori Atta to indicate by close of business on Monday, 10 February 2025, a reasonable date of his return to the jurisdiction and attendance at the OSP. The OSP warned Mr. Ofori Atta that if he failed so to do, the OSP would take all necessary legal steps to secure his return to the jurisdiction and attendance at the OSP at our own choosing. Subsequently, by communication dated 10 February 2025, that is just Monday, Mr. Ofori Atta's lawyers transmitted to the OSP a generic letter procured by Mr. Ofori Atta purporting to be from a doctor in a foreign jurisdiction, stating that Mr. Ofori Atta had been seen and evaluated, and that he was undergoing further testing and management and possible surgical intervention at an indicated future time. And further, that his medical condition necessitates that he will stay and follow up on his appointments. On account of this purported medical letter, Mr. Ofori Atta's lawyers prayed that the attendance in person of Mr. Ofori Atta at the OSP should be fixed, taking into account the medical report from his doctors. And at 4:16 p.m. the very next day, it is yesterday, Tuesday, 11 February 2025, before we could respond to the letter that came on Monday, the OSP received another letter from Mr. Ofori Atta's lawyers. This time, it was an inquiry. Mr. Ofori Atta's lawyers wanted to know, and they stated that they were informed by the household of Mr. Ofori Atta that in the morning of Tuesday, 11 February 2025, that is yesterday, 12 men, comprising 1 police officer, 4 military men, and 7 other men in plain clothing, visited Mr. Ofori Atta's house, and that by threat of force, they were able to enter Mr. Ofori Atta's house, and they undertook an exercise purporting to be a search of every room, office, gym, and other spaces in the house. Mr. Ofori Atta's lawyers then inquired if the OSP could confirm that the actions of the 12 men were the instance of the OSP, so as to enable them to decide if a complaint to the police would be unnecessary. Mr. Ofori Atta's lawyers then prayed for a prompt response from the OSP to prevent imposter action. We are now responding promptly, and we have chosen the course of answering Mr. Ofori Atta's inquiry publicly at this briefing, considering the circumstances surrounding the purported raid at Mr. Ofori Atta's house, media reportage of the purported raid, and in light of the reckoning that some media houses have stated emphatically that the OSP was behind the purported raid, and in light of the reckoning that the purported raid is being made to appear as if it was some untoward action by the OSP stemming from some contrived vendetta held by the OSP against Mr. Ofori Atta. So, here we go. And this is our response to Mr. Ofori Atta directly, but through you, the media. Mr. Ofori Atta, the OSP did not raid your house on Tuesday, 11 February 2025, or on any other day. Mr. Ofori Atta, the OSP did not cause any persons, however uniformed or bedecked, to raid your house on Tuesday, 11 February 2025, or on any other day. Mr. Ofori Atta, that could not have been the OSP, and that is not our style. If the OSP enters your premises, you will not be in doubt as to whether it was the OSP that had come there, and your lawyers will not have cause to do an inquiry ascertaining whether it was the OSP. We have our unique methods of conducting searches.
Okay, Abusia, it's waiting so much as a course, so our political highway such as a Ken Ofori Atta, the case, not every money say, yaji, gusa, and jingui. Any sama yukuno, Aviata so say, or whether papa the care came the local share fiasinity, or Mariata such as OSP didn't send Abetuda or just evidence is our gather against a Ken Ofori Atta no, and your evidence in Sketchuanity is likely say, a papano, Ken Ofori Atta, former finance minister, or Beko Aqua 2 years and I said 3 years, I once a one prison. Now, on a car, or the Ashina de Aches and some course or highway the Sunday. Now, I know Ed and the table sham Dumbisi and Madame say, Moje Penny Bikuti, a course or political highway. Aha, POG Media, Meramasi.